Okay, perfect. So we are back. Okay. First of all, I wanna solve this issue with the foliage. That's something related to nanite. So what I'm going to do is look for the grass types. Find the grass types on the material and find the meshes. Here are the grass types, and I want to see what's inside these layers. I'm just going to... Hey, how's it going? Doing great. Was not able to stream for a couple of days, but we're back. Just wanna take nanite off that, and also maybe it might be good to take the support ray tracing off. Might help with performance. So yeah, I've been researching a lot on lighting and making a lot of tests. To see what's the best for this project. Actually, this is caused because of nanite, unfortunately. For some reason, that issue is caused by nanite. But we need to find the grass type that is giving us the issue. And so that's grass A. Let's check grass B. Oh, this is yeah. We need to check the sand grass. But might as well just do it for everything super quick. That is grass type number 2. So now we're gonna do it with the sand. And here's the one that is causing the problem. The rocks are fine because they don't have... What percentage? I don't know. That's a difficult question. So here, just want to make sure that we are not using also ray tracing for this. That's sand number 1, sand A. Let's get sand B. And I should probably just do it for all of them for now, because until I figure out this thing, I'm gonna disable nanite on the foliage. The like foliage does support nanite, but I believe you need to use some specific settings for it. The way this one is set up is giving me problems with the world position offset, which is the thing that moves it with the wind. So I'm just going to disable it for now. These are grass types, so they disappear in the distance, so hopefully it's not gonna be a big issue until I figure out how to make them look nice. Okay, you see now they're not flickering like that. That's nice. Just want to make sure that I got all the things. These rocks, they're not moving, that's good. Just gonna disable ray tracing on them. They are just a little tiny detail, so it's not gonna be a big... It's not even gonna be noticeable, to be honest. Okay, cool. So we have that. We're gonna let them be nanite, but not... Yeah, I don't wanna use ray tracing on them. Okay, one more. Okay, cool. So now I'm just gonna save, and now the foliage looks good. No, I want to make it one-time payment. One-time payment. Actually, the multiplayer, it's broken in 5.6. The advanced session.
не можу зайти в апартамент на морі. Ти не пам'ятаєш, який замок працював, верхній чи нижній?
El de Rio.
Коротше, щось Денис зайшов нормально, вийшов, а тепер зайти не можуть.
Escaseso pisle al lobby y zapetales.
Так, вони вже взяли другі ключі і все одно не можуть зайти. Хоч манда менсахе, que funciona de arriba. А якщо Денис закрив щось внизу, то вони...
Abajo можна, але то треба обережно.
Може він щось перекрутив? Воно могло захлопнути ще щось.
Ні, чує, просто треба la llavecita hay que sacarle un toquecito.
Pero quieres decir, ну, ти не можеш тут Денису пояснити, чи люди пояснити?
Ма, просто сказав то, що я тобі сказав.
То буде зіпсутий телефон.
Та, so хоче, що я сказав. Okay, let's see if we get Dale play. Hola. So yeah, I was thinking of making it like $10 or something. Then maybe release a DLC for it or something like that. Something very affordable. But yeah, the multiplayer, the multiplayer, it's gonna be we're gonna see what's happening. We're gonna see what's good with the multiplayer. I had it working on 5.5. I spoke Spanish and Ukrainian. Yeah. Entonces, yeah, I'm having such a mix of languages. Yeah, it was a mix between Spanish and Ukrainian. So let's see. I don't think we're getting the problem anymore. This foliage issue used to happen on arid landscapes where I had brushes and I had like height differences, but it seems like performance did drop a little bit. The thing is that you cannot really tell until you restart the editor. So that's the thing. So yeah, I've been also trying to learn the dialogue system, which is super nice. Very happy. So here you can choose different options and you can go, and it's nice because you get to see the player from the front. Still want to change some stuff, but I'm very happy. And also this is related to the quest system, so it's very nice. I want to make it so you can read and click when you want to go through, because like you know, I hate it when like games have like text and you cannot read it quick enough and it just goes on. So yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, we can work on the transition. It would be good if Unreal was an optimized engine. You I mean, like any other tool, you need to learn how to use it. It's not easy, not easy to optimize a game for sure. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of understanding, but it is possible. For sure, it is possible to optimize a game. Let's see. I'm gonna restart the editor. Oh, these changes are not saved. That's why. Okay. Let's save the changes and see if frame rate improves. I had this thing where I need to kind of like reload the project, so it works. It gives me the frame rate changes. Yeah, there's a lot you can do about optimization. I've been actually learning a lot. Hey Sisa, how's it going? I actually researched about baked lighting. I researched a lot about ray tracing, lumen. I made a lot of testing these days. And yeah, it's been very interesting. And yeah, the funny thing is that I thought I was not gonna use. I was actually experimenting with megalights, like I had it before, and I couldn't get too much frame rate difference between software ray tracing and hardware ray tracing. Maybe because I optimized the lights by hand. So yeah, it's a very wide topic. The thing is that at the end of the day, I was achieving like the same frame rate, not using lumen, using lumen with software ray tracing, and using lumen with hardware ray tracing. So I was like, okay, let's just go with hardware ray tracing and megalights, just because it makes the game look a little nicer. But yeah, there's so many options, so many options to optimize ray tracing. So that's the thing. So yeah, the idea is to make the game run on a potato. I need to send a message. Give me a second, sorry. Okay. Hey, I'm doing great. I've been learning about a lot about optimization and a lot about you see, now we get 120 frames per second on editor, which doesn't mean much. It's kind of funny. You kind of like need to restart the engine to see the frame rate change. So the changes we made to these grass types, they don't really affect much, because grass types, they disappear in the distance and are already like another kind of system. that is pretty optimized. So I just turned ray tracing off on them, and I also turned nanite off just because I was getting some issues, flickering issues with the work position offset. Ma, ya pues la foto suya tuviste sábado tenis. Que usar solo el candado de arriba y que el de abajo está malito, que hay que meterse acá la llave, dejar un pedacito fuera. Básicamente le mandé ese mensaje. Dale. Yeah, and the shadows, that's a very good idea as well. That's probably gonna help. Yeah, this camera, it follows me, but it freaks out when I get out of frame. Kind of funny. Oh yeah, definitely that's gonna help a lot. So yeah, the funny thing about ray tracing is that you can disable it on whatever mesh you need to disable it on, and the difference, it's kind of like the darkness of the shadows. There's not much difference. Besides the shadows, you can really tell the difference in the shadows, the darkness of the shadows, the darkness of an interior area. So you can be very smart about it. You see, I'm getting 120 frames per second. I think it doesn't go beyond 120. And the grass types are non-nanite. And the radius of the grass types is very small. It's just you're gonna see them very quick. The movement of the grass, it's a little funky, but at least it's not glitching. So that's very nice. Now the question is, how many NPCs can I have? That's the question. How many NPCs can I have in this area to make this town feel more alive? We can probably just duplicate this. I've been getting some flickering in the reflections. I need to learn a little bit about the reflection settings, because I was not getting that flickering before. But now I do have some lumen reflection issues. And I might just make my materials not so less shiny, let's say less reflective. Can you turn it on and off in the game? I do want to make it. So people that do not have hardware ray tracing available can still turn it off and use it without hardware ray tracing, just using software ray tracing. Which the visual quality, it's actually not that much. Maybe because I'm not using too much reflections, or you can really tell on like shiny and metallic objects. You can really tell, but if you're not using very shiny objects, I think you can probably get away, which is perfect for this environment, which is it's like a desert. I got this thing where the fog disappears with the letter G. So it's I'm not sure how that happened. But yeah, let's see how many of these NPCs can we have. These bugs are also they're not using ray tracing. I turned ray tracing off in them, and the difference is very little. It's very hard to tell. I'm not sure if this grass has LODs. I'm not sure. I think this grass is meant to be nanite, but for some reason, I think the world position offset, let's say the wind settings on the project, on the grass itself, and the wind settings from the ultradynamic sky, I think they're interfering each other, and that's why you get kind of like the flickering. That's kind of like my best guess, but yeah, I need to look into it. I need to set it up so we can have the foliage move with the storm and the weather. That will be awesome. So let's make a performance test and see if we can get a bunch of NPCs. I don't really want to just copy them around. Actually, let's see what happens if I just copy them around. Oh, he twists his head. Also, I was testing how many enemies can I have at the same time, and see. Yep. Another thing I need to do is like if you're holding the weapon out and you're talking to somebody, I wanted to like put it back on the character's back, because that's kind of funny. You're talking with your gun out. Another thing that will be fun is like if you shoot these quest givers or NPCs, they're like, oh, stop it, you know. There's a reaction that I can add to it, so to make it more interesting. Yeah, we will need to tweak the grass. So yeah, let's see. Let's see how many of these we can add. And I'm getting this ray trace memory over budget, and I believe we can probably turn ray tracing off of these meshes as well. Okay, let's go a little crazy with this. We have 23 NPCs here. Let's see the performance. Performance dropped around 25 frames. Yeah, they should not bleed. They should be like, hey, stop it. It's okay if they bleed. Just need to make a reaction. So okay, that's nice. I bet that if I restart the editor, we might get way better frame rate. It's kind of funny, like these ones are looking to the front, these ones are looking to the side. Why is that? Okay. And I remember some of these NPCs had the head follow thing. Pretty sure we had that going on. NPC AI shop all components. Let's see if it has that follow mechanic, because I wanna get it to the NPCs as well. It's kind of cool. No, she's just a seller. Yeah, this menu definitely needs to get redesigned. Kind of confusing. Not your typical seller. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Wanna see if we can turn off ray tracing on these meshes. Yep. It looks way more pale. You see, like, the shadows are not so dark. The quality definitely. Yeah, the darkness of the shadows really goes away. That's the biggest change. These, like, darker spots becomes more washed out. Wanna see if I can have it only activated on only some meshes, not on all of them. This is these are pre-made assets. You can probably build this in maybe like less than an hour if you have everything and know how to set it up. Maybe a little bit more, because it does take some time to set things up. Okay, so what we are going to do is oh, nice. Okay, cool. That's nice. So yeah, this is very very nice. Now we can have cool NPCs, conversations, and I'm thinking what kind of town I'm going to build with this. What kind of town I'm going to build. I kind of want to do something like I had before, because we have this other desert town. And I want to mix some of these meshes that I made with these other meshes, because these houses don't really have interiors. That's another thing I want to do, which is gonna be maybe not all of the houses, because it's just a lot of work, but it will be nice if we can mix them a little bit. Because I needed some detail for this one, and if we can mix those two, now we will have something very very cool. Oh, we need to activate the data layer. Now what you're looking for? Not sure what you mean. I don't think so, man. Yeah. So yeah, this is gonna look very cool with the other assets. Oh, that's funky. Those got broken. Sometimes when you move assets from one project to the other, they break when they're using nanite. But we got a couple solutions for that. Yeah, the cool thing about these buildings is that you can really go inside and stuff. Really like that stuff. So let's see if we can make something nice out of this. The only problem is that I'm using the errand landscapes, and I want to do some hand sculpting on the terrain, but we cannot really mix these height maps with the hand sculpting because they override each other, even though they are in different layers. It's a little funky to work with both of them, so let's see. I wanna bring some other meshes I made from previous version of this project and see if we can make some kind of like barrier, because this town is going to be barrier, like the kind of like the main story is that this used to be like a jungle, very lush area, but then these machines came and started like destroying everything. So this is gonna be like some kind of outpost that is gonna be protected from the outside. This landscape, you mean like these shapes? This is using a plugin called Aaron Landscapes, which uses height maps to make this stuff. And I want to combine this with the landscape tools, so we can get some cool elevation for this. Okay, here, let's see if we can actually bring this stuff. This is a cool character. This one I made from a 3D scan that I found on Sketchfab. I posted on T and then rigged it. But what I want here is this. I want some kind of barrier. So here I have some modular pieces that I want to use. Okay, here I was working on another modular area to get up. And we have 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and let's see if we can actually get this one together. Just gonna hide everything we don't need. Make sure there's nothing in there. This one probably needs. This one was not finished yet. So yeah, I think we should probably just bring those. Let's see, are these the merged pieces? Yeah, these are the final ones. So we have corner, the same thing and the same thing. So we have 3 pieces for now. Let's use this for now. Then we can get the other one. Okay, so going to. These are merged. Okay, these are the ready assets. It depends on the complexity. I do a lot of kit bashing inside Unreal and use the modeling tools in Unreal. I am not really sure. That's kind of hard to tell without like looking at your project, to be honest. Let's migrate these 3 and send them here without overwriting anything. We don't want to overwrite. Yeah, that really depends on a lot of things. Optimization, it's like detective work. You need to have all the details to understand what's happening. Very, very, very specific to your project needs. So yeah, let's see if we can find those combined ones. These combined pieces that I should probably name differently. So let's call this, I don't know, SM barrier. Barrier wall. Okay. Then this one is gonna be SM from static mesh, barrier wall 30 degrees, just 30, 30, yeah, something, and this is gonna be 90 degrees. The same thing. That's way easier to deal with. Barrier. Now we have them together here. Now we can drop them. Okay. And they should snap to 100. I made them so they can snap to 100 very nicely. Check. And with this we can build something cool to protect this city. Kind of funny that they have all these pipes and stuff exposed to the outside. That's kind of ridiculous, to be honest, but that's one way to do it. Now the texture, this was meant to be used for a swamp environment, like a more like a mossy swamp, but we're gonna use it for the desert, so we need to change that thing. We're gonna add some kind of concrete material. Let's see if we can actually use the same concrete that I've been using in these meshes. Maybe the other ones, but maybe this material might be more optimized, because the other material that I was using, it was a vertex painting material that is fine until you bake it. Okay, the tiling is not great, so I'm gonna change that up. This is a merged mesh, so we have two ways to do this. We can modify the UVs on the mesh itself, or we can also do a material instance. It's a trap. So I'm thinking maybe might be easier just to do it with the transform UV tool. You don't see the selection, but I know it's selected. Kinda strange. And now we get a better texture. The thing is that I don't know how big I made it, and we need to repeat this, so actually let's use numbers so we can repeat the outcome. So here we transform UVs. Just gonna get these faces. And here I think we can go just 2 and 2, and then we can go 2 and 2. That's a little better. Maybe we can go again. That feels way better. And I forgot to click on this face. The problem is that you don't get to visualize which faces you clicked on. And since this is a merged mesh already, I don't wanna drag select. So if I do, so I don't touch any other face. Maybe let's try 6 and 6. Okay, double check to see if we modified all the faces. That's kind of cool. Yep, we can work with that. Now I'm just gonna do it here. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's one way to do it without creating another instance. And here, vertex painting materials are materials that allow you to combine three different materials using RGB masks. So you can paint over your mesh and you can mask it in green areas, red areas, blue areas, and each area will have a different material attached to it. It's a very nice way to combine materials. Give more variety to your kit bash, to your modules. When you're repeating a lot of assets, that's a good technique to give variety. But it's recommended to bake your textures after, so it's better for performance. Need to pay attention what faces I'm selecting. It doesn't allow me to select that one. That's the annoying thing about transform UVs. You cannot really tell the selection. So when you have a complex selection, it's a little difficult. Thankfully, these are very simple. Nice, that's a little better. Yeah, vertex painting it's super cool. One of the oldest tricks in the book to add variations to your environment. Okay, nice. This metal, we also don't want to use this metal. I want to use something rusty, and let's use the same material I've been using everywhere. Let's see how it looks. That one is kind of cool. I haven't used that one. Kind of goes well. If there you go, if I'm able to find it. Nice. These cables are too wet. Ooh, the UVs are also a little bit funky in there. But let's just change it up. a little, and then we can pile the dust on top of this with the ultra dynamic sky with a material blend. A floor grade. The thing with this is that it has a let's just do it like that for now. Then I can think a little bit about this, because this is just gonna cause flickering and it's not gonna do much for us, so maybe we can just cover that for now. Then I can get into little tiny details, and these pipes, we can make them rusty as well, but I think for now it feels a little bit better. Just want to make sure that these three assets are nanite, and then I want to make sure also that these three assets are not using ray tracing for now. Yeah, these assets were used to be part of a swampy, mossy, wet environment, and now I'm gonna make I'm gonna make only a desert, because the other level I was working on was like a transition between a desert to a swamp, which is totally possible to do, but I think I was complicating myself too much. So I decided to just make a desert for now. This looks kinda funky. I wanna use the other rust material that I have, if I can remember what it is. Rust panel. Right here. Yeah, I think that might work better. If I figure out which one is it, nice. That was lucky. Cool. Yep. Then we can play a little bit more with this. Nice. So the thing is, let's think about it. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to make stuff from scratch. Try to make them modular so you can reuse them, like this one. This is a little set I made. You have walls, you have floors, you have windows, doors, and then you can build on top of that. Stairs. Okay, and there's some other buildings here. Oh, there's also a spaceship. Totally forgot about this one. Nice. And here we have these other ones which are a little bigger construction. So yeah, probably not gonna use all of these. Probably not gonna use all of these. So let's actually make some block out first of how the town is going to look like, cause it doesn't really make sense to that yellow is too hard. We probably need to change that. Okay, so the thing here is I'm gonna hide that desert town, unload, and I'm going to add this to the outpost. And oh, the NPCs, I think they were part of the desert outpost as well. Okay, so now we can actually make something cool here. I might have smaller towns around the desert, because have one like very big town doesn't make sense. Doesn't really make sense. So let's try to make smaller ones. Can probably put it like somewhere hidden, one corner. Okay. There are several ways I can go about this. Let's see. First, nice. Yeah, UNF is very nice. It's some kind of like Star Wars, kind of like Mandalorian, kind of Fallout universe kind of thing. You're talking about permadeath, so if you die you cannot like respawn. Some games have that. I think it's a little bit too hardcore. You should punish the player probably, but if you do it like permadeath, might be too hardcore for some players. You might have the option for players who like that feature, but might be too much. Oh, I didn't brought all the brushes. Ah, okay. You know what? Let's actually do it a little different. Let's do it with rocks. Pretty sure I have some cool rocks. Probably in the older version of this project. Some cool rocks, and we can probably have the town in there. Let's see. Hardware ID ban. He just burns your your video card. It's like, well, you are not able to play any game anymore. That would be crazy. Pretty sure I had some cool rocks. Maybe I didn't bring those to this one. So yeah, the cool thing about this, let's actually try sculpting a little bit on the landscape. I want to see how it behaves with the Eren landscapes. It's kind of tricky because if I sculpt on top of a brush of a high stamp like this and then move that high stamp, all my sculpting goes away because the height brush just overrides. So we have two layers. We have the Eren landscape layer. That one is locked. Let's play with the other layer. I think that as long as we don't touch that and we don't move the Eren landscapes, I think we should be good. We can also use another thing that it's very cool because it's kind of like you can use a stamp, but you can flatten that on top. But I kind of like hand sculpting a little bit. Wanna see if I can learn how to mix those two. It's gonna be a little laggy because the landscape is a little bit big. Okay. So you can sculpt out a little bit, then push it with the flatten brush. Should probably make something small, to be honest. Something very tiny, and have little towns around the map. I forgot how long it takes to save this thing. Oh my god, yeah. Oh, it was not that bad. Good. Okay, it's gonna freak out a little bit with the nanite stuff. The shadows are gonna look very funky, but we're gonna get that going. Just wanna get some of my cool rock formations. I got some Kid Bash stuff that I made before, somewhere around here. There you go. Are these the ones I made? Oh, these are the ones. These are a little bit easier to deal with because they are like 360, you know, like they I made sure that you can use them in any rotation you want from any side. So let's try to get those. To the other. You're probably talking about Eren landscapes, most likely. Which I'm using. But I want to mix sculpting with Eren landscapes. Just sculpting is kind of nice for a couple of of reasons. Okay, we don't want to override anything. You have more control over smaller areas with hand sculpting, and Aren Landscapes is very good for like stamps. You can also flatten these Aren Landscape brushes and get a lot of stuff. You can also use the landmass plugin, which is a terrain modifier that you put underneath your building, so whenever you move your building up or down, it's gonna modify the terrain around. That's also very cool. So there are many ways to do this. Okay, now we have some cool rocks. Here I wanna keep things in scale. So the barrier. These things here. Let's bring them from the outpost layer. This is gonna be the scale. Let's keep things a little bit smaller, because you cannot really tell scale when you are just sculpting terrain. So it's nice to start with some base. Okay, I was not that far. There's another one called Massive Worlds that do something similar. So it's kind of cool. There's a couple of solutions. All right, nice. I was not that bad, that far away from this. So I want to make like a small outpost, to keep things a little bit smaller. I think it's gonna be way more interesting to discover little towns and little areas around. So let's come up with a cool shape, and I want to transform on X, or is it Y? There you go. Nice. Okay, so I want the I believe this is 30 degrees. Gracias.
Fui hasta el automercado por Doritos azules y se les acabaron los Doritos azules. Me dio una cólera cuando yo sé, pero es que no hay half and half normal y esa es la más rica, la half and half.
Ok, dobre. Дякую. Just got a drink. Just gotta clean up this can. Pretty good. Nice. So yeah, let's maybe make an hexagon shape. That could be nice. Let's make an hexagon shape, and I want an entrance. So this one, it goes 30 degrees, but I believe it snaps from this point. and then go. Oh, nice. That's a nice snapping. Nice. Just gonna copy that location, paste it, push, and we have 2 2. That's gonna make everything way bigger. Maybe we can go 1 and maybe we can go 2. Let's see how big it looks if we just keep it. Okay, then from this location, I want to snap this one. There you go. So yeah, just copy location, paste location, and snap, depending on what you need to snap to. Okay, this is not giving me another orientation, because maybe the asset is flipped. Okay. This one is gonna be a little harder to snap, so we might try something different here. Might be able to flip this on Y and then go 100. Okay, I'm probably not moving on the right. There you go. Oh. It's okay. It's a different number. It's working with angles is always oh, I think I found it. Okay, snapped. Okay, so okay, what happens if I copy this? Nope. 45. Okay, we are missing a couple of units. I don't really understand. Maybe the pivot point is not exactly in the corner, but okay, we have this thing. Now, how can we make an entrance to this? Could probably. Okay, let's see. Oh, nice. Okay, so we could probably take those two, and we can probably copy this, paste it here. Let's see, are we working on an angle? Okay. I think we are working on a 30-degree angle. So, I think if I copy this location and go 30 degrees and move 100 units, it snaps right there. Nice. Okay. We can also go out. I don't think, no, I don't have that piece. Yeah, this can only work like this. Or, yeah, it can only go yeah, can only go inside. It would be nice to. No. Let's keep it simple. Yeah, let's just make it go like this. Some kind of entrance. Okay. And before anything, let me just double check scale. You cannot really decide from Unity or Unreal. Use whatever you feel more comfortable in. That's my advice. All engines are great as long as you use them properly. So use whatever you feel more comfortable. Then also think about your project needs. You're making a game that think about your project needs and based on your decisions on that. Each engine has its positive and negatives, but mostly you can probably do both. You can go either way. Doesn't really matter. I think the scale is nice. Is this the location we want to have this? Maybe we can push this to the little tiny corner. Yeah, let's probably push it a little bit more. Yeah, it's like a tool, right? Like, I mean, like, it's like any tool. You need to. You only gonna get good results as long as you learn how to use it. It's not really about the tool. It's about your experience with it. Okay, I think this is a little bit more cornered. We make better use of the space. I don't want to get too close to this area. Okay, nice. Let's give it a little sculpt and see what can we do. Yeah, whatever you feel more comfortable in. Absolutely, that's the. Oof, I'm starting to sculpt, I think, on top of the errant landscape brush, and as long as I don't move that brush, I think we are gonna be good. Okay, so I wanna get this to the same height. a little bit laggy because my landscape is using Aaron landscapes in one layer, and it's also a very big landscape, so we need to take it easy. Okay, cool. So okay, let's see if I can get the right height, and then I'm going to flatten down from here. Just grab that and push it out. Okay. ¿Qué me dice, bro? Puro ya. Tanis. Mae, sí. Le enciendo la compu. Ok, mae, ya casi le mando el código. Ok, pura vida, mae. Alright guys, I'm sorry, I need to end the stream. Unfortunately, one friend needs to use my other computer, the one that I'm using to stream with, so I could probably set up the OBS on my laptop, but it's gonna take some time. But yeah, I'm gonna let my friend use the computer through TeamViewer. He's doing some rendering and he needs a good GPU for a couple of hours, so yeah, we might continue with this tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Soy de Costa Rica, mucho gusto. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Sorry for ending the stream like this, but need to go help my friend with the PC. Okay, goodbye.